Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us on the WordStream webinar today. Today's title of our webinar is called AdWords Success in 20 Minutes or Less. A little bit about logistics for today. First, no need to fear. Today's webinar will be recorded. So please, after the webinar finishes, check your inbox and we'll make sure to send over the correct materials. Also, you'll notice that we have an opportunity for you to submit questions. We won't be stopping for every question as the progression rolls through our webinar, but we certainly will make time at the end for all question and answer sessions. So why are you here today? Chances are you want more out of your PPC, your pay-per-click advertising. WordStream Advisor actually can help you do that and make paid search campaigns optimize in just 20 minutes a week. Overall, we help people save time, increase ROI, and help them grow their business. Who doesn't want to be doing those things? You're most likely wondering, who is talking to you right now? My name's Jacob. It's very nice to meet everyone on the webinar today. We've got quite a few of you. A little bit about myself. I've given presentations at Google in California, New York, Cambridge, Austin, and their Boston office as well. So this isn't my first rodeo. I'm also one of the team leads here on the customer success team. So in my tenure at WordStream, I've probably seen a few thousand AdWords accounts, which is great and probably makes me a good person to be teaching you today a little bit about some strategies to help you succeed in the Google AdWords space. Our agenda, we're going to cover some common PPC challenges. We'll also cover 6 strategies for achieving success in Google AdWords. There's also a few bonus best practices at the end, and we'll also talk about how you can improve your PPC account in 20 minutes a week or less. And of course, at the end, a nice little question and answer session. It's important to know your AdWords performance. And here at WordStream, we know a lot about AdWords performance. Our grader has actually ran through and analyzed over $5.5 billion in ad spend. That's a ton. And we found a couple interesting things that might be shocking to you. They're shocking to me. 50% of accounts have not been optimized in the past 30 days, meaning people have not made a change to their account in 30 days. 25% of user accounts that we've analyzed haven't made a change in the last 3 months. What's most important to know about AdWords and paid search? This is a marathon. It's not a sprint. And it takes a lot of adjustment over time to see the type of results you may be looking for. Here's shocking fact number 2. 1 in 4 accounts actually have 0 negative keywords. Negative keywords help you actually stop your ads from showing from those type of searches which aren't driving qualified traffic. We'll get there. And one of the other big factors we've seen is that low quality scores really drive down campaign performance. We have a couple quick tips today to help you achieve better quality scores. Let's talk about the 6 strategies from a high level, and then we'll dive into them each individually. Adding long tail keywords. Crucial to help you increase relevancy and lower that CPA. Negative keywords, as mentioned, will help you eliminate wasted spend. Identifying high-cost keywords and low returns is crucial to have a better understanding of where you're spending your money and where you should be spending your money. Reviewing and adjusting bids. This comes back to that marathon mentality I was talking about. A lot of people want to set it and forget it. We'll dive into this one in just a few slides. Next, splitting up ad groups. You would not believe how often I come into accounts that have one giant ad group and one giant campaign with thousands of keywords. We'll talk about how to get more relevant there. And lastly, which I think should be a must-have for everyone, is using expanded text ads. Let's dive into the first strategy, which is adding long-tailed keywords. Long-tailed keywords are more specific variations of how someone might search for you and your business. Let's take an example first before explaining why these are important. Take a look at the left-hand side of the screen. You'll notice that 2 different Google searches are typed in there right now. IT support. I want you to think of that as a regular keyword. Look how many searches results that has brought in 0.72 seconds. 4.7 billion searches. That's a lot. Now, right below it, you'll see IT support for small businesses in Boston. That is a more specific search, much more longer tailed, as we like to say, and is also more specific to what the user wants. IT support for small businesses in Boston. Those results still bring in quite a few, 31 million results, but nowhere near as many as that 4 billion number on top. So what's the importance here? By using those long-tailed keywords, you get to attract an exact audience. The second search below is much more specific, and we have a better idea of what they want. And you're meeting that person at the ideal point in their sales journey. The user at the top may be a bit more on the top of your funnel. Maybe they're not ready to fully make that purchase or know what they need. The best part and most important part of this slide is long-tailed keywords, which you see below have less competition. Those keywords cost you less per click. Lower CPC for a more specific user audience, I'd say that's great. By having that more specific keyword and hoping with more specific ad copy, you can achieve better search rankings by increasing your relevancy. Adding long-tailed keywords is an absolute must in anyone's account. Strategy 2. We dove into this one right before in our agenda. Let's explain what negative keywords are. They're a separate list away from regular keywords. Negative keywords actually prevent your ads from showing from irrelevant searches. So by using negative keywords, you will, in turn, reduce wasted spend, stopping those searches that don't make sense for your business. I don't think here at WordStream we want to pay each click for someone who's looking for a job at WordStream. That's a quick negative we like to add. Someone who types in how to, maybe if you're a plumber or service-based industry, is that user really looking for you? Or are they looking to fix it themselves? Maybe you don't offer anything free. Maybe someone typing in worst or JPEG doesn't make sense for your business. Those first few examples on the left-hand side are some of that lower hanging fruit, but adding negative keywords is something you can be doing all the time on a daily basis. You would not believe how many times in my tenure someone has said, "Hey Jacob, will it ever end? Will I ever be able to stop adding negative keywords? It seems like something I'm doing all the time." The answer is no, it will never end. We cannot account for all the crazy and wild ways with people search, current events, the changing landscape of how people look for things in their language. We will always be adding negative keywords and reviewing this list. Next one's a fun one, identifying high-cost keywords with low returns. This, in one of our 6 strategies, is crucial to understand on a weekly or daily basis, where's the most of your money going? If you're looking at expensive keywords, you can actually take a look at those and say, could I try that with a different match type? Do I want to lower the bid there? Is this not providing the return that my business needs to actually get money and make ROI, right? That keyword we're always talking about. By monitoring your high-cost keywords, some of them may be your best performers, so it's good to keep up with their data. But in reality, for me, as someone who manages accounts here at WordStream, it's crucial that I know where I'm spending the majority of my money and if I actually want to continue to show my money there. This next part is a bit different. This is talking about reviewing and adjusting bids. This may go hand in hand with looking at your high-cost keywords, but this also goes back to this is a marathon and not a sprint. Make sure to look and reduce your bids on keywords that are already showing in top positions. If you're dominating the one position every time in paid search, maybe we can pay a little bit less to still show in those high-positioned ranks on a given search engine result page. By reducing our bid but maintaining our position, it seems like we are, it would be effective for us to lower those bids again to save ourselves those cash. Here's the other side of that coin. When you're talking about keywords that aren't showing high enough, you may be losing out possible impressions there. So it's actually good to raise your bid in hopes of showing in a better position on the search engine result page. Like I said, there's quite a few of us here in the room today. How many of us truly get to the second page of results for searching for something? We probably just refine our search. So it's crucial to make sure that your bids are set accordingly with what your goals are for where you'd like that ad to actually show up. Point 3 number here on the screen. Manage your budget to see where bids are being set too high and depleting your budget too quickly. If your bids are set too high and your budget can't withstand getting that amount of clicks and still running through the whole day, you may want to look at those bids more closely. You may be losing out on impression share due to budget, because your keywords are eating into that budget too quickly and you don't have enough money at the end of the day to make sure your ads are still showing. Next is splitting up ad groups. By splitting up ad groups, first, let's back up here. Ad groups, they're those more specific facets of your campaigns. Ad groups hold your keywords and ads. They're really the meat and potatoes of what makes your campaign successful, keywords and ads. Now, in ad groups, we want our keywords to be tightly knit together, meaning that our keywords align with one another. If we're bidding on IT support, Do we truly want to show up for IT companies in our IT support campaign? Most likely not. Ad group. Most likely not. The reason being is by making more relevant ad copy, making our keywords align with our ad text and align with our landing page, we can have a higher quality score, because that is one of the biggest factors in quality score. Quality score also makes sure that your bids, what you pay per click, actually goes down if you have a higher quality score. Google is rewarding you for relevancy. So we suggest splitting up large ad groups that have too many keywords in them. Here's a pro tip. If you see an ad group that has more than, say, 25 to 30 keywords, if it has more than that, I ask you to take a close look at that ad group and say, can I get more specific here? Do some of these words align better with more specific words in this ad group? If so, could I split them up in hopes of creating more specific ad copy? I know that's a mouthful, but by getting those higher conversion rates, you will get higher conversion rates by creating some of that more specific ad groups with more specific ad copy. So cleaning up ad groups absolutely is something that we advise on a weekly basis. Here's another really fun one, expanded text ads. This really changed the landscape of paid search, especially for us here at WordStream. When this change happened, we actually noticed a few things. But first, what is an expanded text ad? An expanded text ad is a text ad that actually gives you twice the limit of characters, numbers, and letters that you were previously allotted to in an ad. What's important about that? Well, by having twice the ad text limit, you're taking up twice the real estate on the search engine result page. Why wouldn't you take advantage of this? We know that in the world of a mobile landscape, less ads show on a given search engine result page. We want to make sure we get our messaging out to people so that they see us and we have used all those extra characters. And like it says on the screen here, those expanded text ads are shown on all devices. So you want to make sure you're getting the right message to the right user on the right device. We have a data scientist here at WordStream. He is very good at math, something I think in years past I've said I'm not good at. But Mark has actually determined, using data and quite a bit of it as we've shown you, that you actually will get higher click-through rates by replacing your old underperforming ads with these expanded text ads. We consider this an absolutely quick win. Outside the scope of those 6 strategies that we just talked about, I'd like to really dive into some other best practices, which as a paid search marketer, I consider a must-have. First, Sitelink Extensions. I'm sure you've seen these before, and we've got an example on the right-hand side of what you might see under a WordStream ad. Sitelink Extensions are those deeper links into your website or web page that actually direct the user to a more specific area of your site. If you click the WordStream headline, you're just going to come to our homepage, but maybe you already know you want to head to our blog, or you're specifically looking at our WordStream free grader, which is a great avenue to see how your performance is doing. We give these deeper links, these site links, as options for our searchers, in hopes that they click through our ad, and then hopes that they get to the page they want more specifically, in hopes of converting faster. What is the goal of paid search? To bring a user to the point of conversion as quick as possible, so we give them what they want. I know we're all impatient in this world, and I find myself that way when I search. I will refine my search until I get the results that I want. Here's the last quick tip about site links. Look how much space we're taking up. It's all about real estate. The more real estate you take up on a search engine result page, the better your ads will perform. It's just science. Here's the next type of extension you may not have noticed before. This one's a bit different. You'll see that we have our normal ad text, and then below it says Managed Services, and with a colon in between it says Agency Solutions, Free WordStream Grader. These are called Callout Extensions. Callout extensions are an added snippet of text that you can add below your advertisement to give your users more information. Here's another pro tip. Don't say the same thing here. Don't be redundant. This is an area where you can actually hop in and tell a user more about your website, your business. And what does this also come down to? Real estate. That is another free line of added text that you can add to your advertisement. Lastly, call extensions. Who drives phone calls or who wants to drive phone calls to their business? I'm imagining all of you are raising your hands right now if you want phone calls to your business. We all do, and so does WordStream. We make sure to have a call extension, which for mobile users, they can easily click that button and call us right away to speak with someone. These are must-have extensions. When utilizing paid search, we consider this a best practice and a must-have. And just to refresh, that's site links, callout extensions, and call extensions. Now, these are things you may set up, but again, give your account that weekly love. Get in there and adjust those site links, monitor their performance, A/B test them against other extensions that you have. Utilizing these type of extensions is absolutely crucial. That was a lot. I get that was a lot. But let's do a quick review on what we covered today in terms of some 6 strategies that we consider must-haves on a weekly basis. Add keywords. Don't forget, this is keyword research. It's something you can be doing all the time. Longer-tailed keywords, lower CPCs. Adding negatives, reduce wasted spend. By adding negatives, you will stop your ads from showing for searches that don't make sense for your business. Another quick win on a weekly basis. Monitoring where your costs are going. As a business, I'm sure you monitor all your costs, but understanding on a keyword level where your marketing dollars are going is crucial. So reviewing costly keywords on a weekly basis is a must. Optimizing bids. Make sure that your keywords, your ads, are showing in the position that you want to be showing in, and optimizing your bids to this effect on a weekly basis is crucial. Splitting up ad groups. Ad groups with too many keywords are not refined and are hard to optimize and aren't going to see as high quality scores as very tight-knit ad groups. So please, after today, maybe you want to take a look at that monster ad group that you haven't wanted to touch that has 120 keywords. Probably a good place to start. And lastly, optimizing your ads and switching over to the expanded text ad format. This is a quick win, an easy thing to do, and something that we say you should be doing right now. As mentioned, that was a lot. And I'm sure you've come to today's webinar in hopes of getting some help with some of these strategies. Here's a fun fact. Did you actually know that WordStream can help you with all of those strategies and best practices in just 20 minutes a week? It sounds too good to be true, right? But it's actually, it is true, and we can actually help you. WordStream Advisor is a software that has a specific area of it called the 20-minute workweek. It's a proprietary algorithm, meaning a fancy math equation that will actually provide you with weekly, actionable, customized recommendations based on your account data. Not general data, not industry data, your specific keyword data. Our software will also identify areas of your account that can be acted on and optimized for an immediate gain. So I'm sure a lot of you spend hours of analysis working on this every single day, week, month, but we can actually enable you to make these changes to your search and social campaigns in a simple 20-minute workflow. But wait, it gets better. WordStream Advisor actually currently supports paid search, that's Google and Bing, and paid social, Facebook. And you can actually maintain all of your paid search and social campaigns from a single and centralized dashboard. So please see what WordStream can do for you. We're actually going to launch a poll right now to see if you might be interested in trying out Advisor. So if you are, please feel free to tell us you are, and we'll make sure to get the correct information over to you so we can help you with your PPC campaigns. Overall, we appreciate that you've come to today's webinar, and we, of course, want to make sure we can answer any of your questions. I've got a good question right here already from someone who said, how do I make the most of a small budget? Really good question, and a tough one, right? When you're constrained to a small budget, you want to make sure that you're bidding on keywords that you know you can afford. I think this goes back to some of our talk about mainly focusing on long-tailed keywords. If you can't afford to show up for IT support because it's $30 a click, but IT support for small businesses in Boston is actually searched for less and maybe costs less per click, you would want to focus on those long-tailed keywords. Here's another important thing about small budgets. It also is pretty account specific, but it depends. Where do you make the most return for your business? I have clients who sell hundreds and thousands of products. When they sell thousands of products, my first question is, where do we make the biggest return here? Where are your biggest selling items? Focus on some of those quick wins. Dealing with a small budget is tough, and I completely understand that type of struggle. My best advice, like I said, is focus on the products that you know you do best in. Next question we got here. What is the easiest and best way to evaluate the performance of any keyword? Really good question. How do we know it's working? Is it broken? Should we change it? I always ask that you compare your data against your own account. If your keyword has a subpar click-through rate, meaning its click-through rate is lower than all other keywords in your campaign or the average keywords in your campaign, potentially that keyword may not be the best fit for you, or conversion rates, or CPA. Focus on the metric which is most important for you, which for me is always cost per acquisition. How much does it cost for me to advertise on the web, get someone to click on my website, and do what I want them to do when they get there? So for me, I always like to focus on CPA. Really good question there. Good question here. How much time do you give a keyword to perform before you rate it as poor? Is there a recommended time frame? This is an extremely common question. This is a question I coach my own team to all the time. This is a tough one. It really comes down to the business. Again, you'll probably hear me say that a lot today. It comes down to the business because each account is so specific. So for me, I actually like to ask my clients a bit more on how they typically run their AdWords accounts. We could give it a time frame and set, okay, 30 days, that's how long we want to run this keyword. But we need to make sure there's enough traffic, right? If there aren't enough impressions, if it ran for 30 days and only showed up 10 times, is that really a fair comparison? So for me, I must say, try to set an impression cap for when you want to actually review that keyword or that ad. Something I like to say is maybe if you're running 2 ads or 2 keywords against one another, let them each gather 500, 1,000 impressions. I think we can agree that's a lot of times for something to show, and probably a good sum of data. Another really good question here. I'm new to this. How can I find out what my competitors are bidding on and what to target with keywords? Very, very good question. This all comes down to really leveraging the search terms report, or a tool in our software called QueryStream. The search terms report actually shows you what users are searching and how they're matching to your ads. When you're seeing what people are searching and what your ads are showing for, you may actually find out new keywords that you might want to add. There's also some advanced strategies about bidding on a competitor's branded term. I don't want to go too far down that rabbit hole, but if you check out the WordStream blog, or even if you go to Google and type in WordStream competitor, we have a great article about bidding on your competitor's terms. I'm also aware there are some third-party tools out there too, which help you leverage data that your competitors are bidding on. Really good question though. I think we've got time for one more here. So I'm going to actually come back to, there is a question here that I do want to come back to. What is the max number of keywords I should have in an ad group? Although I like to think I'm a data scientist or a scientist of sorts, I'm not. And it really comes down for me is sort of a range. And again, it depends on the business. I like to cap my ad groups at about 30 keywords. There's more than 30 in there, I can assume that I can create a more specific way or more specific ad group for some of those words in there. And one of the tools in our software actually can recommend an ad group to split and how to split it up. So really good questions today. I greatly appreciate everyone who showed up. Please reach out to us, reach out to our team if you have any questions here. But we hope you enjoyed today's webinar, learning a bit about the 6 steps to having some success in paid search. And don't forget, if you said you're interested in signing up for a free trial, we'll be sending over that email so you can quickly and easily sign up for one of those. My name's Jacob. We're here at WordStream, and thanks again for coming to today's webinar.